The arrival. The starship Horizon emerged from hyperspace at the edge of a brilliant nebula. Its sleek, angular design reflected the light of distant stars, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the human race. Captain Lyra Bennett stood on the command deck, her sharp eyes scanning the holographic display in front of her. The transmission had been brief but clear, a distress signal from an uncharted sector. The signal was encoded in a language that had perplexed Earth's brightest linguists. It was old, ancient even, and yet unmistakably human. "Status report," Lyra said, her voice calm but tinged with curiosity. Lieutenant Ezra Malik, the ship's communications officer, turned in his seat. "The signal is originating from a star system 2 light-years away. It's faint, but consistent. The language matches no known colony records." Lyra's brow furrowed. Humanity had explored and colonized countless systems, but there was no record of a settlement this far out. Yet the signal bore all the hallmarks of Earth's ancient language systems, patterns and inflections that predated even humanity's first interstellar voyages. "Helm, set a course for the signal." "Engage at full warp," Lyra commanded. As the ship surged forward, Lyra turned to Dr. Ilara Voss, the ship's lead xenolinguist. "Thoughts, Doctor?" Ilara adjusted her glasses, her expression thoughtful. "If the language is as old as the data suggests, this could be a monumental discovery. It's as if someone out here has preserved a piece of our forgotten past." Lyra nodded. She didn't voice her deeper concern, that the signal's origin might not just reveal humanity's past but also its greatest secret. The planet. The Horizon arrived in orbit around a desolate, rocky planet shrouded in a faint, swirling mist. The surface was littered with the ruins of towering structures, their jagged silhouettes jutting out against the pale, barren landscape. "Atmospheric scans show breathable air, but there's an energy field surrounding the ruins," reported Ezra. "It's unlike anything we've encountered." "Prep and away team," Lyra ordered. "We're going down." Moments later, Lyra, Ilara, and a small team of scientists and soldiers descended to the planet's surface. The ruins stretched endlessly before them, their architecture a strange blend of human familiarity and alien sophistication. Ilara knelt by a carved pillar, tracing the intricate designs with her fingers. These symbols, they predate modern Earth languages, but they're undeniably human. "This is impossible." The team pressed forward, guided by the signal. It grew stronger as they approached the heart of the ruins, a massive, domed structure partially buried beneath the rocky terrain. Inside, the air was cool and still. The walls of the structure pulsed faintly with light, as though alive. In the center of the room stood a pedestal holding a single crystalline device. "This is the source of the signal," Ilara said, her voice barely above a whisper. Lyra stepped forward cautiously. "Can you decipher it?" Ilara began scanning the device, her handheld translator struggling to keep up. As she worked, the crystal began to glow, projecting a holographic image into the air. The message. The hologram depicted a man, his features unmistakably human but his attire unlike anything from recorded history. His voice was calm, commanding, and laced with urgency. "To those who find this message, know that we were once like you, explorers, builders, dreamers. But we uncovered a truth that shattered our understanding of the universe." The hologram shifted, showing scenes of ancient starships traversing galaxies, civilizations rising and falling, and a looming darkness spreading across the cosmos. "We were not the first to reach the stars," the voice continued. "Nor will we be the last. But we made a choice, one that ensured our survival but demanded our anonymity. Now, the time has come for you to understand why." The image faded, leaving the team in stunned silence. Lyra's voice broke the stillness. "What does it mean? Who were they?" Ilara's gaze remained fixed on the now dim crystal. "I think, they were us. Or something we became a long time ago. The revelation. Before anyone could respond, the structure around them began to hum with energy. The walls shifted, revealing hidden passageways and intricate machinery. A holographic map of the galaxy appeared, with Earth at its center. Symbols blinked into existence across the map, marking locations scattered throughout the galaxy. Each one, Elara realized, was a repository like this, a fragment of an ancient story. "This isn't just a signal," she said, her voice trembling with awe. "It's a breadcrumb trail. They're leading us somewhere." Lyra's determination hardened. "Then we follow it. Whatever this is, it's bigger than anything we've ever encountered." As the team made their way back to the horizon, the crystalline device pulsed once more, transmitting a final message. "Prepare yourselves. The galaxy's greatest challenge lies ahead. And only those who understand the past can shape the future." Echoes of the ancients. Back aboard the horizon, the mood was electric. The holographic map from the ruins had been integrated into the ship's navigation systems, each marked location representing a mystery waiting to be uncovered. The ancient voice's ominous message lingered in everyone's minds. Captain Lyra Bennett stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the map as it floated above the central console. "Elara, where do we go next?" Elara Voss, the ship's xenolinguist, studied the symbols closely. "This one," she said, pointing to a system at the edge of the map. "It's the closest, and if I'm interpreting the symbols correctly, it may hold more data about these ancient humans." "Helm, set a course," Lyra ordered. "Let's see what else our ancestors left behind." The journey. The horizon slipped into warp, the stars stretching into brilliant streams of light. As the crew prepared for the next destination, Elara continued analyzing the data from the crystal. "What do you make of it?" asked Lieutenant Ezra Malik, leaning against her console. "It's incredible," Elara replied, her voice filled with wonder. "If this message is true, it means humanity wasn't just one of the younger species in the galaxy, we might have been the first. But something caused us to step back, to hide ourselves." Ezra raised an eyebrow. "Why hide? If we had that kind of power, wouldn't we use it to dominate?" Elara shook her head. "Power without wisdom leads to destruction. Maybe they learned that lesson the hard way." Their conversation was interrupted by an alert from the bridge. "Captain, we're approaching the target system," the navigator announced. A silent beacon. The ship dropped out of warp into a dimly lit star system. At its center was a dead star, its faint glow casting long shadows over a barren world. Orbiting the planet was a massive, ring-like structure, ancient and corroded but still operational. "Scans are picking up an energy signature from the ring," Ezra reported. "It's faint, but similar to what we found on the planet." "Prepare an away team," Lyra ordered. "We're going to investigate." Moments later, Lyra, Elara, and a team of engineers and soldiers arrived at the ring's control station. The interior was vast and cavernous, its walls etched with intricate patterns that pulsed faintly with light. "This place is incredible," Elara said, her voice echoing in the chamber. "It's a repository, just like the ruins." The team approached a central console, its surface covered in glyphs. Elara began working to translate the symbols, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. The warning. As Elara deciphered the console, a new hologram activated. This time, it showed not just humans but other species, aliens with diverse forms and features, standing alongside humanity. "We were not alone," the voice from the first message continued. "We guided others, teaching them the lessons we had learned. But there was one lesson we could not teach, a lesson that must be learned through experience." The image shifted, showing a vast, dark force spreading across the galaxy like a living shadow. Planets were consumed, their civilizations extinguished in moments. "This is the void," the voice said. "A test of every civilization's wisdom and restraint. We faced it and barely survived. Now, it has returned. We chose wisdom over power, restraint over destruction. We hid our strength, not out of fear, but to guide those who would come after us. If you are hearing this, then the void has returned. And you must make the same choice. The Guardian. As the message ended, a hidden door slid open, revealing a figure standing in the shadows. It was humanoid, but its form was augmented with advanced technology. Its body a seamless blend of human and machine. I am the Guardian, it said, its voice calm and steady. Left here to ensure the knowledge of this place is passed to those who are worthy. Lyra stepped forward. We're here to understand. To fight the void, as our ancestors did. The Guardian's glowing eyes studied her. To fight is not enough. The void cannot be defeated with power alone. You must learn what your ancestors learned, that the greatest weapon is understanding. The test. The Guardian gestured, and the room transformed. The walls dissolved into projections of the galaxy, showing the void spread like a growing shadow. You will face a test, the Guardian said. Not of strength, but of wisdom. The void thrives on fear and conflict. To resist it, you must prove you can rise above these impulses. The team found themselves in a simulated environment, a recreation of a critical moment in the ancient war. They were aboard a human flagship, surrounded by chaos as the void's ships closed in. Decide, the Guardian's voice echoed. Fight with all your might, or seek another way. The choice. Captain, what do we do? Ezra asked, his voice tight with tension. Lyra studied the situation. The void's ships outnumbered theirs 10-1. Every instinct told her to fight, to defend, to win. But the words of the Guardian and the ancient message lingered in her mind. Hold fire, she said. Ezra stared at her. What? They're going to destroy us. Not if we show them something they don't understand, Lyra said. She opened a channel to the void ships. This is Captain Lyra Bennett of the Horizon. We seek understanding, not conflict. Show us your purpose, and we will not resist. The void ships hesitated, their crystalline forms shimmering. The chaos around them stilled, and the simulation ended. The team was back in the chamber, the Guardian standing before them. You have passed, it said. Your choice reflects the wisdom your ancestors discovered. The void cannot be fought with weapons, for it is a reflection of the darkest parts of ourselves. To defeat it, you must embrace what it cannot comprehend, cooperation, compassion, and restraint. The path forward. The Guardian handed Lyra a small, glowing device. This contains the knowledge you need to guide your people. But remember, knowledge is not enough. You must teach others to see as you do. As the team returned to the horizon, Lyra felt the weight of the device in her hand. It was not just a weapon or a tool, it was a responsibility. We have a long road ahead, she said to her crew. But we're not alone. Our ancestors left us a map. Now it's up to us to follow it. As the ship set course for the next destination, the stars outside seemed a little brighter, as if the galaxy itself was watching and waiting. A lesson in unity. The horizon soared toward the next destination, its crew grappling with the weight of the revelations they'd uncovered. The ancient Guardian's test had left them with a profound truth: brute force alone could not defeat the void. Instead, understanding, unity, and wisdom were the keys to survival. Captain, Lieutenant Ezra Malik called from his station. We're entering the system. Preliminary scans show multiple inhabited worlds. Lyra Bennett raised an eyebrow. Inhabited? By whom? Ezra frowned as he studied the readings. Multiple species, Captain. It's a melting pot of civilizations, but there's tension. Factions seem to be on the brink of conflict. Dr. Alara Voss stepped forward. If the void has been influencing them, it could be amplifying their divisions. That's how it thrives, by feeding on discord. Lyra nodded. Let's not waste time. Open a channel to the planetary leaders. A fragile peace. The response to the horizon's hail was fragmented. The planets were home to 5 species, each represented by a leader who appeared on the ship's central display. Their expressions ranged from curiosity to suspicion. "You are not from this region of space," one of them, a reptilian being named Commander Varric, said. "What brings you here?" Lyra kept her tone calm and measured. "We're following a trail left by ancient humans, our ancestors. It's led us to this system, and we believe you're at risk from a force called the Void." The leaders exchanged skeptical glances. "We've heard rumors of the Void," said High Scholar Rhino, an avian-like creature. "But we've seen no direct evidence. Why should we believe you?" Dr. Voss stepped forward. "Because we've seen it firsthand. It's not just a physical force, it's an insidious influence that preys on division and fear. If your people are already divided, you're making yourselves vulnerable." The catalyst. Before the leaders could respond, alarms blared across the horizon. Ezra's voice cut through the tension. "Captain, Void signatures detected near the outer planets." The display shifted to show crystalline ships emerging from the void of space, their forms glinting with unnatural light. "They're here," Lyra said, her voice grim. She turned back to the leaders. "If we don't act together, none of us will survive." Commander Varric's eyes narrowed. "You're asking us to trust strangers." "I'm asking you to trust each other," Lyra said. "Your differences don't matter right now. Unity is your only chance." The defense. Under Lyra's leadership, the Horizon coordinated a joint defense. The 5 species scrambled their fleets, reluctantly agreeing to fight side by side. The Void ships attacked with relentless precision, their crystalline forms warping spacetime and disabling conventional weapons. The Allied fleets struggled to hold their ground, their ships outmaneuvered and outmatched. "This isn't working," Commander Varric shouted over the comms. "We're losing too many ships. We need to change our approach," Lyra said. She turned to Ilara. "Any ideas?" Ilara's eyes lit up. "The Void can't comprehend cooperation. What if we create a strategy that forces them to adapt?" Lyra nodded. "Let's do it. Relay the plan to the Allied fleets. A unified strategy." The plan was unconventional but brilliant. Instead of fighting as isolated factions, the Allied fleets formed a single, cohesive unit. Ships from different species combined their strengths. One species' advanced shields protected another's heavy weaponry, while fast, agile ships drew the Void into carefully orchestrated traps. The Void faltered. Its ships, designed to exploit division and fear, struggled to counter the unpredictable tactics of a united force. As the battle raged, the Horizon sensors picked up something unusual. "Captain," Ezra said, his voice tinged with awe. "The Void ships are reacting, as if they're afraid." The turning point. The tide began to turn. The Allied fleets, once fractured and at odds, fought with a synchronicity that even the Void could not disrupt. One by one, the crystalline ships began to fall, their forms shattering into harmless light. On the Horizon's bridge, Lyra watched the battle unfold, her chest swelling with pride. "They're doing it," she said softly. Dr. Voss smiled. "They're proving that unity is stronger than fear." The aftermath. When the last Void ship disintegrated, the Allied fleets erupted in cheers. For the first time in memory, the 5 species saw one another not as rivals, but as partners in survival. The leaders appeared on the Horizon's display, their expressions a mix of relief and gratitude. "You were right," High Scholar Rhino said. "Unity was the key. We owe you our lives." Lyra shook her head. "You owe each other. This victory is yours. A new alliance." The battle had forged more than just a victory, it had laid the foundation for a new alliance among the 5 species. They agreed to continue working together, not just to defend against the Void, but to build a future based on mutual respect and cooperation. As the Horizon prepared to leave the system, Elara turned to Lyra. "Do you think they'll keep it up?" "They have to," Lyra said. "The void isn't gone. This was just the beginning." The Horizon jumped to warp, leaving the fledgling alliance behind but carrying with it the hope that unity could prevail against even the darkest forces. Secrets in the depths. The Horizon raced toward the next set of coordinates on the ancient map, now carrying the knowledge of a battle hard-won through unity. The recent victory against the Void was proof that the lessons of the past could guide the galaxy's future. Yet the question lingered, why had the Void returned, and what more did humanity's ancestors know about this ancient threat? "Captain, we're nearing the target system," reported Lieutenant Ezra Malik. Lyra Bennett nodded, her gaze fixed on the star chart. "What do we know about this location?" Dr. Elara Voss scanned her notes. "It's a water world. Oceans cover nearly the entire surface, with only a few scattered islands. The signal we're following is coming from deep underwater, at least 10 kilometers below the surface." Lyra frowned. "Prepare the submersible. This is going to be a challenging mission." The watery world. As the Horizon entered orbit, the crew gazed at the planet on the main screen. It was a mesmerizing blue sphere, its surface rippling with massive storms that churned the endless oceans. "Captain," Ezra said, "we've pinpointed the signal. It's coming from a structure on the ocean floor." Lyra turned to her team. "Elara, you're with me. Ezra, coordinate the drop from the bridge. Let's see what's down there." The team boarded the submersible, a sleek vessel designed for extreme depths. As they descended into the depths of the ocean, the light from the surface faded, replaced by the eerie glow of bioluminescent creatures darting through the darkness. "This place is alive," Elara murmured, watching the strange marine life through the submersible's windows. Lyra kept her focus on the mission. "Let's hope the structure is, too." The hidden facility. At the ocean floor, the submersible's lights illuminated a massive dome made of a shimmering, translucent material. It pulsed faintly with light, like a heartbeat. "This structure predates anything we've seen so far," Elara said, her voice filled with awe. "It's perfectly preserved." The team docked at an entrance hatch, and the dome's systems came to life, recognizing their arrival. The hatch opened, allowing them inside. The interior was unlike anything they had encountered, vast halls filled with intricate machinery, walls inscribed with symbols that seemed to shift and flow like water. "This place is alive in a way," Elara whispered. "It's like it's waiting for us." The Hall of Records. At the heart of the facility was a chamber filled with holographic projections of stars, planets, and ancient battles. As the team entered, a figure appeared, a hologram of a human, clad in flowing robes that seemed to ripple like water. "Welcome," the figure said, its voice calm and resonant. "You have reached the Hall of Records, the repository of our knowledge." Lyra stepped forward. "Who are you? Why did your people leave these messages?" The hologram's gaze met hers. "We are what you might call the first humans, though we were known by many names. When we encountered the Void, we learned that power alone could not save us. We chose to leave these archives, to guide those who came after." Elara asked, "What more can you tell us about the Void? How can we stop it?" The hologram gestured, and the room transformed, displaying a swirling mass of darkness that spread across the galaxy. "The Void is not a being or a species," it said. "It is a force, a manifestation of chaos, drawn to civilizations that reach a tipping point of power and hubris. It cannot be destroyed, but it can be resisted." "How?" Lyra asked. The hologram's expression grew somber. "By embracing imperfection. The Void feeds on the desire for dominance, the illusion of perfection. The only way to weaken it is to foster unity, humility, and restraint. The sacrifice." As the team absorbed the hologram's words, the facility began to tremble. The void had detected their presence. "Captain," Ezra's voice crackled through the comms. "We're picking up void signatures in the system. They're moving toward your location." The hologram turned to Lyra. "You must leave. This facility contains knowledge the void fears. It will stop at nothing to destroy it." Lyra shook her head. "We can't just abandon this place. There's too much at stake." The hologram gestured toward a crystalline device embedded in the floor. "Take the core. It contains everything, the knowledge, the lessons, the warnings. But if you take it, this facility will collapse, and the void will know." Elara stepped forward. "We don't have a choice, Captain. If we lose this, we lose the key to fighting the void." Lyra hesitated for only a moment. "Do it. Extract the core." The collapse. As Elara carefully removed the crystalline core, the facility began to shake violently. Lights flickered, and the walls cracked, letting in the crushing weight of the ocean. "Move!" Lyra shouted. The team raced back to the submersible, the facility crumbling around them. They barely made it inside before the structure collapsed entirely, sending shockwaves through the ocean. As the submersible ascended, the crew watched in silence as the dome disappeared into the dark abyss. The pursuit. Back aboard the horizon, alarms blared. Ezra turned to Lyra, his face pale. "Void ships are closing in fast. They must have detected the core. Prepare for evasive maneuvers," Lyra ordered. "We can't let them take this." The horizon engaged its advanced engines, weaving through the system as the void ships pursued. Crystalline beams of energy lanced through space, narrowly missing the ship. "We can't outrun them forever," Ezra shouted. Lyra clenched her fists. "We don't have to. Get us to warp. We'll lead them to the next waypoint. If they want this core, they'll have to face whatever's waiting there. The path ahead." As the horizon escaped into the safety of warp, the crew gathered on the bridge. The crystalline core sat on the central console, glowing faintly. "This is it," Elara said. "The key to understanding everything. But it's also a beacon. The void won't stop coming." Lyra nodded. "Then we won't stop either. We'll take this core to the next site, learn everything we can, and rally whoever will stand with us. This fight isn't just ours, it's the galaxy's." The horizon surged forward, carrying humanity's ancient legacy and the hope of countless worlds. Humanity's last gift. The horizon emerged from warp near the final set of coordinates left by humanity's ancient ancestors. The ship's sensors detected a massive construct suspended in the void, a colossal sphere that dwarfed any known structure, radiating faint energy signatures that had persisted for millions of years. "Captain, we're detecting an active energy field surrounding the structure," reported Lieutenant Ezra Malik. "It's immense but stable, like it's waiting for something." Lyra Bennett gazed at the construct on the main screen, its surface glimmering with ancient inscriptions. "That's it," she said, her voice heavy with purpose. "The heart of the legacy our ancestors left behind." Dr. Elara Voss studied the readings. "The core we retrieved from the water world is resonating with the sphere. It's some kind of key." Lyra nodded. "Prepare a shuttle. We're going in. The Nexus sphere." The shuttle glided toward an entrance that appeared on the sphere's surface, opening as if responding to their presence. Inside, the team was awestruck by what they found, a vast chamber filled with crystalline conduits and glowing artifacts. "It's a repository," Elara said, her voice echoing in the cavernous space. "This is where they stored their final message." At the center of the chamber stood a massive obelisk, similar to the ones they had encountered before but far more intricate. When Elara placed the crystalline core into a slot on the obelisk, the entire chamber came alive. Holographic images of humanity's ancient civilization appeared, showing its rise, its confrontation with the void, and its ultimate decision to step back from power. The final revelation. A voice filled the chamber, calm yet resonant. To those who find this place, you are the inheritors of our greatest lesson. We were the first to reach the stars, the first to wield unimaginable power. But in our arrogance, we nearly destroyed ourselves and the galaxy with us. The images shifted, showing massive wars, collapsing stars, and civilizations falling to ruin. We fought the void not as an enemy but as a reflection of our own hubris. It is a force that magnifies chaos, preying on those who seek control without wisdom. To defeat it, we had to change, not by becoming stronger, but by becoming wiser. The hologram displayed humanity's decision to conceal its advanced technologies, choosing instead to guide younger civilizations from the shadows. Our greatest gift was not our power but our restraint. We left this legacy to teach you that the most advanced civilization is not the one with the greatest weapons but the one that understands the responsibility of using them. The void arrives. Before the team could fully absorb the message, alarms blared. Back on the horizon, Ezra's voice came through the comms. "Captain, void ships are emerging from hyperspace. Hundreds of them." Lyra's jaw tightened. "They're here. They knew we'd lead them to this place." The holographic voice continued, unfazed by the alarms. "The void is not a foe to be defeated but a challenge to overcome. Your unity, compassion, and understanding are the only weapons that matter. The stand." Lyra turned to her team. "We have to protect this place. If the void destroys it, we lose everything." The Horizon's crew scrambled to form a defense. The Allied fleets from the previous system arrived, responding to the distress beacon the Horizon had sent. Ships of different species formed a unified line, ready to face the void's overwhelming forces. The battle began with chaos. The void's crystalline ships moved with terrifying precision, their energy beams tearing through Allied vessels. But this time, the fleets fought as one, using the lessons of unity they had learned. The catalyst. Inside the Nexus sphere, the obelisk began to glow brighter, reacting to the ongoing battle. Ilara studied the readings, her face lighting up with realization. "This isn't just a repository," she said. "It's a catalyst. It's designed to amplify the values of unity and compassion across the galaxy." Lyra looked at her. "Can we activate it?" Ilara hesitated. "Yes, but it'll draw every void ship here. We'll be defenseless." Lyra's voice was firm. "Do it. If this is what our ancestors intended, we can't let fear stop us." The activation. Ilara activated the obelisk, and the chamber filled with radiant light. Across the galaxy, the Nexus sphere's energy rippled outward, touching every world, every ship, every being. The void ships hesitated, their movements faltering as the energy disrupted their cohesion. The Allied fleets seized the opportunity, coordinating their attacks with flawless precision. For the first time, the void's forces began to retreat. The victory. As the last void ship vanished into the darkness, a profound silence fell over the battlefield. The Nexus sphere's energy continued to pulse, its light filling the void with hope. Back aboard the Horizon, Lyra stood on the bridge, her crew surrounding her. "We did it," Ezra said, his voice tinged with disbelief. Lyra nodded, but her expression was solemn. "This was just the beginning. The void will return, but now we know how to face it. Not with fear, but with unity. A new dawn." The Nexus sphere became a beacon for the galaxy, a symbol of humanity's legacy and a reminder of the power of understanding. The Allied species vowed to continue working together, building a future where the lessons of the past guided their path forward. As the Horizon prepared to leave the system, Lyra gazed at the stars. "Our ancestors gave us this chance," she said softly. "It's up to us to make it count." With that, the Horizon surged into the void, carrying with it the hope of a galaxy united against the darkness. The end. Would you like additional elements for this conclusion or assistance with another part of your project?